The economy so fucked up, it really feel like bitches wiping their ass with $100 bills. Literally.
How fucking poor do we have to get before we start robbing these motherfuckers?
If my money ain't right, my funds low, I'm not going. I don't give a fuck.
I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck. I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
I just happen to be an adult in the most unaffordable time to live.
No, I'm crying because my Starbucks this morning was almost $10 and I just can't afford it anymore. And that sucks.
I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of being able to barely pay my bills.
Unless you're growing your own shit and raising your own animals, you stuck.
Because I'm struggling. I really am not getting by. Like, I don't even know how I'm getting by, but I'm making it possible. That's the mom power.
I don't really have no choice but to get this money and make it in life. Because where am I go? And who gonna save me? Nobody.
Don't waste all this time in your life and look back and see that you only existed in survival mode. That ain't it. Enjoy yourself, free yourself, have fun, laugh, live.
At this point, I need these bills to explain themselves. Every month they're higher, but my paycheck keeps showing up looking exactly the same. Can a sister get a raise? I'm not asking to be rich. I'm asking to stop being financially assaulted by my groceries and rent. Check this out.
And honestly, can't no old hoe tell me nothing about living and moving through this economy. You bitches was paying $695 for a 10-bedroom. For a studio is at minimum $2,100. What was we talking about? The car y'all was getting cars for $350. Cheapest car we gonna get now is $1,500, and that's the beat down beater ass car. They ain't gonna make it cross nobody border, state-wise, fucking country. Like, life now is too expensive for any hoe to just play with me. Like, no shade. Gas is fucking $5 a gallon. Y'all was paying $1.99. I don't know. I can't take it from the old hoes because you hoes had it good. You hoes had it good. Y'all can go to the club and probably get a section for $1.25 and a bottle for $3.20. Y'all can pay y'all rent on the first fucking $4.85. The economy so fucked up, it really feel like bitches wiping their ass with $100 bills. Literally.
Like, I cannot do this for the rest of my life. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of being able to barely pay my bills, going into a job where I work my fucking ass off all fucking day to barely be able to pay my motherfucking bills. It just is not it.
People always be like, oh, well, why don't you never ask for help? Because when I asked for help, nobody cared. Nobody was there. So I built the strength to never need to ask them for anything else ever again. I built the strength to never depend on anybody for my livelihood or anybody allowing me to take care of myself or my family. Think about that the next time you think that people are just too stubborn or too self-sufficient, too independent. Nah, I couldn't depend on anybody else. So I learned to depend on God and myself. Speaking of things to depend on, I can depend on y'all to repost this because somebody else need it and follow your boy.
I ain't going anywhere if my money ain't right. I don't care who birthday it is, or what the occasion is. If my money ain't right, my funds low, I'm not going. I don't give a fuck. Y'all be trying to spend y'all last just to go have fun or attend a birthday party knowing y'all can't afford it. I'm sorry. And I'll tell them, motherfucker, money low, I can't make it.
I'm just sitting up here wondering, please excuse, why life gotta be so expensive right now? I mean, nothing is cheap. Every time you turn around, you stick your foot out the door, you go into a store or order something online, $50. $50 to $100. Outside, about $300 by itself. You go get you a nice meal, just by yourself, just you, one person, $30. Don't have nobody with you, that's $60. If it's a family, y'all ain't not spending $100 just for you 3 or 4. Just to have one meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Y'all don't think something wrong with that? And then it used to be we can just, buy gas and go on about our way. $2.30, cheap as I don't know what. Now, you gotta spend $50 just to go around the corner down the street. Get your errands done. $50. Life is very expensive right now. I could go on and on and on.
I don't like how I grew up in the best era to be a kid, but then I ended up in the wrong era to be an adult. This shit's so fucked up.
Oh, you might think, I bet she's upset about something legit. No, I'm crying because my Starbucks this morning was almost $10, and I just can't afford it anymore. And that sucks.
I am so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year, I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I am sacrificing my mental health, my time, and my energy to take care of people in their most vulnerable moments. And a lot of the time, they do not make it. At the very least, I should be able to pay my bills. And for anyone who's thinking, oh, well, you shouldn't have chose that job, somebody has to do it. And you know damn well, if your loved one was critically ill, you would want somebody to take care of them, right? Something has to give. I cannot keep doing this.
I show up to work every day with a smile on my face, but I'm over here paying $600 in insurance, $500 on a car note, $120 for a cable bill, $500 in credit card bills. So you mean to tell me I give up 40 hours of my week to get money, enough money just to cover my bills? And I'm still supposed to enjoy my life outside of work 2 days out of the 7 days of my week. 2 of those days, I'm supposed to handle my responsibilities and have fun with the little bit of money that's left over after my bills are paid. And then keep going back to work for 40 hours. And you only use 16 of my hours to have fun. And usually I won't use up all the 16 hours because I have other stuff to do. That's crazy. This is insanity. I think I'm going to move to Europe. Yeah, that sounds like the best solution.
I waited my entire childhood to be an adult so I can buy what I wanted with my adult money. And I just happened to be an adult in the most unaffordable time to live.
Don't let work be the only thing you live for. Work funds the lifestyle. Work is not the lifestyle. Don't waste all this time of your life and look back and see that you only existed in survival mode. That ain't it. Enjoy yourself, free yourself, have fun, laugh, live. And people will be all right.
Unless you raising your own animals and growing your own food, you can't cut back no more. People done cut back on everything they enjoy and they still can't make it. People making $30 an hour end up in the red. They just ain't paying enough to keep up with today's cost. Then you got Mike Johnson get on stage talking about they froze his $174K a year and he wants more money. But they also expect people to make $7.50 an hour minimum wage and survive. You can't make 30 and survive, especially if you have kids. So you can't cut back no more. People done cut back all they can cut. Fuck, they can't even afford the seed to start growing their own vegetables. So unless you raising your own animals, growing your own food, raising your own chickens, you in a bind. That's bottom line. And it's only gonna get worse. And you know what else? They don't care. And they ain't gonna change shit about it. So we on our own. And as long as we stay divided, that's how it's gonna be. All people gonna be able to do is talk about it, just like I'm doing right now. Talk about it, fight about it, and argue about it. Because ain't nobody gonna come together enough to make it stop. And they're gonna keep on pressing our necks to the ground. Keep working. Keep doing good. Work hard. You gotta work hard to get what you want. Don't you think people are doing that? And it ain't working. People can only do so much. You got people living homeless that used to have a home and they still worked. that's a sign that something ain't right. Something's going on that's putting these people homeless, broke, can't afford shit for their kids. Come on, man. It's unbearable. So unless you're growing your own shit and raising your own animals, you stuck.
I must be one of the only people in the world who don't have like a quote unquote home. You know, when people get like fired from their job or something like that, or whatever the case may be, and they be like, oh, I got to go back home. I get to go home and stack my money and get my life together. I don't really have that option. So I got to get my life together and keep it together because I ain't got the option to move back home. Like, I got somewhere to lay my head at every night. That's a given. But I don't really have no choice but to get this money and make it in life because where am I going to go? And who going to save me? Nobody.
You're not struggling. The structure just isn't solo friendly. The US economy was not designed for any one person to tackle it alone. If we're being honest, the structure is very much married couples built. It assumes shared responsibility, it assumes households. That's the reason why the economy even works for two people. It either works for single mothers who get the benefit of government benefits, welfare, and that type of thing, or a married couple who get the benefit of things like purchasing a house. You get to write off the interest tax on that yearly, or you get a breaks for property taxes, that type of thing. And it's so funny how people are always talking about strict programs, strict programs, strict programs. The U.S. capitalistic system runs a strict program, and y'all just don't want to live in it. You don't like marriage, you don't like kids, you don't like family or things like that. But the system is not designed to give single people a break. You're never going to get a tax break. Y'all get on here often talking about as a single person, you're getting taxed to hell. You're going to continue to do that until you have children. The system is designed for you to act in a way that is beneficial to the government. The more people who are married and have more kids, the more people they have to tax. That's the way it is. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's what the system is. So when y'all be talking about, oh, the system is rigged, no, it's structured for a certain way. I'm not going to give you a benefit for being a single person. I'm going to give you a benefit for either having children or being married and have kids. Y'all need to pick which side y'all gonna be on.
All right, guys. How fucking poor do we have to get before we start robbing these motherfuckers? I'm just asking. I'm just asking for the fucking class. How poor? How poor are we all willing to get? How much are we willing to pay at the fucking pump before we just start robbing millionaires? I don't know. It feels like now is about the time. Since I can't pay my electric bill, I can barely fucking afford to put fucking gas in my fucking tank. I can barely afford to put fucking groceries in my fucking house. A pack of fucking hot dogs is damn near fucking $12 at the grocery store. A pack of hot dogs is $12 at the grocery store. Do we even know what the fuck is in the hot dogs? No. Do we think it's worth $12? No. Can somebody please, I don't know, tell me when it's time? Thank you.
Okay, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I really do want to talk about one thing. You guys talk about employment. Let me explain my bills. I feel like even if I was to get a part-time job while my son was in school, I would not really be able to pay all my bills, if I'm being humbly honest. Like, if I didn't have public assistance, that's a really big help. People don't understand that, like, even medical wise, it is really hard to live without assistance. Like, there's a lot of people that's wishing they even qualify for assistance because they're just getting by. Hence of why I make my videos of how to spend $20 a week worth of food. Because there's someone going through something like that that's working a 9 to 5 every day, 7 days out of the week. I know a few. Like, honestly, I couldn't do that with my son's schedule. That's one. And even if I was to do that, I wouldn't get paid enough to pay everything. I have to pay Con Edison. I don't live in the projects. I have to pay rent. And I have a son with health conditions. So he's continuously going to the doctor. I do have a ride. However, sometimes they don't come to pick me up at certain appointments. So that comes out of pocket. I need money to make sure that he's okay if they don't come because we have to get in a cab. Right? Right. And then, everyday appliances and the needs that we have, like, could be as simple as filling up a fridge. A lot of people don't struggle with that, but there's certain people that do. But let's go back to working a part-time job, right? So my rent is cheap for a typical person. I live in New York. I live in a low-income apartment. So my rent is probably 1,600, right? That's not including my carnitine. That's not including food, right? I don't have his father to help me. I have tried to put him on child support. I'm waiting, and it's a process. You know, you gotta wait for these things. They don't come by tomorrow because everyone's trying to do it. So I have to sustain his needs, my needs, and keep up with the bills in the house. But a part-time job, do you think I'm able to supply with that? So let's do the math. Liam's in school at 7. He comes back at 3 o'clock. That means I can work 6 hours a day, right? Because we're gonna give me an hour to commute because sometimes there's not jobs hiring inside my area. Remember, I've got jobs, right? They have to literally give me the schedule that fits me. There's not a lot of places that do that. Typically, when I work inside, let's say retail, they're giving me 3 hours, 5 hours. Like they're not giving me consistent hours and they give me repeated days. So I could work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm only working 4 hours, right? So let's do the math. I was working at Foot Locker. I would work 3 days. I will make 167 a week, right? That's if they didn't cut my hours because sometimes they gave me 2. We're going to put 167. It's me working as much as they're giving me. I've worked at other places. That's typically what they do. So that means I got $501. That's not even half of my rent. And that's straight my money going on rent, right? We're saying no public assistance. Get off of public assistance. Okay. My schedule doesn't fit for me to work any other time. My son is home. My son has health needs. I have to require it to him, so I cannot leave my house. During the nighttime, like I have to be here with him. Unless there's someone I know that I trust that I can leave with my son. My son doesn't really like to be anywhere else besides his home. This condition has definitely messed up some of his comfortability of being in other people's houses. So let's say I have insurance. They're taking like, I don't know how much they will take because I never did that before, but they'll take a pay out of my check. So that it's not 500 no more in a monthly way. I still have to get food, still have to get by, pay for the public transportation. Because if you can't afford to pay for public transportation, I'm sorry, I'm messing up. But public transportation, you're getting charged with a $135 ticket because they don't want you hopping. Life is so fucking expensive. Who wants to pay $8 every fucking day to travel? Because that's what I was doing because I was getting on selects. For some reason, they don't transfer. Cool. There's a lot that goes into these things. There's another mom that's also working 9 to 5 and her rent is $2,000, guys. And she has 3 kids and the father doesn't help her. And yo, bro, they are struggling. Wish that they could get public assistance, but she makes too much money, but she's literally just getting by. I want y'all to understand how real that situation is. Like, how hard that situation is. So me, I'm a single mom and my son has health conditions and I don't even qualify for the bare minimum of Social Security because I'm not saying I can't work. I'm saying that I need more money to supply for him because I'm struggling. Really am not getting by. Like, I don't even know how I'm getting by, but I'm making it possible. That's the mom power. But there's a lot of people that's doing that, you know, like they're just getting by. They're going to Aldi's and they're getting the $20 food hauls and they're doing that because that's literally what they can afford. Like their kids are eating cup of noodles, but it's food, nigga. Like, yo, that's why I'm making awareness of teaching people how to shop and going on a budget, teaching people how to use the system because you need it, not for just personal gain. Like, guys, y'all don't understand. It's bigger than that.
You know something is seriously wrong when basic living feels this expensive. People are working hard, doing their best, and still being squeezed in every direction. If you're tired of it too, subscribe to Shana Real Talk TV because somebody needs to talk about this. Happy every day. No fit overthink, me I know like